So, okay, we are recording now. Heather, what were you saying about the whole astrology thing you've been doing this week?
I was just because we were going to talk about incarnation and freedom because casual. And I was just saying I've been doing a lot of deep dives into astrology this week, and I come more and more to this place about, well, I've incarnated in this particular spot at this particular time, and that's how it's interacting with all these other people. And so then that kind of takes us a little ahead of the game to freedom and free will of like,
yes.
Where is my free will in all this? Because well, clearly that was supposed to match up with that. And then that was supposed to come in because obviously now this is supposed to be some grouping to create some community effort.
Yeah.
And when the charts like all align like that, and you're just like, oh, wow. Like, do I have any choices in this? Like, is all choice an illusion?
This is exactly where I wanted to talk about today. So,
right.
Okay, we're back again with my friend Heather in real life in the same room. Thank you for being here again.
My pleasure.
So I met Heather a couple of years ago, and she, among various other things, has written a book on the I Ching stuff. And I've long had a sort of like, not skepticism, a sense that I should hold back from using practices such as astrology or divination because of a fear of it influencing me in a nocebo effect.
Oh.
And I've recently given that up because I'm like, okay, I'm old enough now. I know myself enough now that I can overcome that. So for many years, like 2 decades, I wouldn't read astrology for myself because I was concerned about the impact it could have on my psychological state. And same thing, I had a similar sense about tarot or I Ching or whatever. And I wasn't
kind of divination.
Anything that could, and it's not really divination, especially I Ching, but it's something. So will you just?
It's definitely something.
First, let's show Heather's book.
This is my book, Oracle of Emergence, an evolutionary I Ching, available on Amazon. I also go by Hance.
Yeah.
It's a long story that we won't get into today, but just suffice to say, if you want the book, it's by Hance. But right now in this conversation, I'm Heather Donahue. We all contain multitudes.
Yes. So, okay. Will you first explain your history with I Ching and how you wrote it and why you wrote it?
Well, I first encountered the I Ching when I was 17, when I first went to college. And the man that lived across the hall, he was a boy, I guess, at that time. We were all very young. He introduced me to it. And at first it was like so complicated because of course, like most people, especially in like the 90s when that was, the Wilhelm translation was pretty much the only one around, or like it's certainly the most fundamental because it's the first one that's really in English. And it was the one that Carl Jung used. And so it just was very foundational, but when you enter it, it does feel a little bit forbidding.
And how old is the Wilhelm translation approximately? 200 years?
I think it's, I don't know.
Interesting.
But turn of the last century, maybe?
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. So
earlier? I don't know.
Okay. So were you working with the Wilhelm translation?
Yes. Yeah. Oh my gosh. I actually just lost my old hardcover of the Wilhelm translation in the summer rain apocalypse of 23. So I had that book like rubber banded. That book was with me for a really, really long time because it doesn't really say enter here. Do you know what I mean? Even the casting of a hexagram can seem a little intimidating at first. And after working with the I Ching for 25 years, I was just like, or actually 30, I guess now, like to be able to make it accessible. Cause I just feel like we're coming into a time now where we do need that like check-in with the field of being like the I Ching. Yeah. And so for me, I was like, okay, after 30 years, I have this relationship with this oracle that is intimate and quite different from all the other versions that are out there. You got Karcher, you've got Brian Walker Brown, all wonderful versions.
Yeah.
But still kind of evolving out of that Confucian overlay that came into the I Ching and made it a more martial document, like a more about
Martial is in
MARTIAL. Yeah, martial and about statecraft and politics, because it was used at the highest echelons of society by like, you know, kings and emperors to be able to like see into the future of statecraft. And so now that it's kind of not only accessible in the West, but now after 100 years or so of being accessible in the West, I felt like I could bring something both feminine and American to it that actually I know I needed, because it was how I was reading it anyway. And I thought could be beneficial, especially really revisiting some of those yin heavy hexagrams like 44 and 12, and just because in the Confucian versions and their lineage, the yin is actually demonized to the extent that it's called evil. Do you know? And so for me, that is not my experience of yin energy at all.
Right.
But I guess in statecraft, that kind of
chaos
and rest and the ability to kind of lay face down in the mud, you know, like that was not necessarily valued in statecraft.
Right.
Or in modern economics. And so I was seeing my relationship to the I Ching match kind of like it was guiding me into itself, if that makes sense. And so the experience that I was having, especially after things changed, like 2020, I bought my land and like my life changed absolutely from 2020 to now.
Yeah.
So it was really interesting for that for that relationship with the I Ching to evolve. And so I wrote my version in 2022 or 2021 into 2022. Yeah.
You write on paper while
I do
in a tent?
I do.
Yeah.
Yeah. I write it with pencil on paper while in a tent.
Yeah.
I just need my hands in it, you know?
I know what you mean. I also need my hands in anything creative. But so this Heather's book was the first version of I Ching I've ever exposed myself to. And so it really does have her voice, because sometimes I'll use it with friends in New Hampshire when she's not there. And they're all like, it's like Heather's sitting here with us as you read it out loud. It's a very distinctive voice. Yeah.
There's nothing I can do about that.
Yes. Well, of course.
But the fact
lovely.
that it wanted to come through me. And so I was like, okay, well, so I guess we need this kind of way, this interface with this oracle.
Okay, so as probably most people know, there's 64 hexagrams. And one of the things that's really interesting that we talk about a lot is, so our topic today is incarnational patterns and destiny. But in that vein, you mentioned that you frequently get the same hexagrams over and over.
Oh, definitely.
Will you say which ones they are, or will that be too private?
No. I get 2 into 1 with all lines changing a lot. And I get 43 a lot, and I get 44 a lot.
Interesting. I thought you said you get 33 a lot too.
I was getting 33 a lot in a particular relationship.
Oh, wow. Okay. So, but let's go back to the ones that in general, over the course of your life, you know you get a lot, much more than chance.
Yes, 2. I get to almost, and like 2 is like basically like, okay. All right, fine. Yes.
And so,
fine.
Do you have a sense as to how frequently you receive 2?
Like if I have hexagrams changing, it's almost always one of them.
Yeah. So, okay. And you tend to use it almost daily.
Oh, I do. When I sit for my tea in the morning, I just get a general, like, what is my correct path for today?
Yeah. And 2 is what's
homing. I call it homing.
Is it all yin?
It's all yin.
Right.
It's all yin. So that's the reminder that I sometimes need.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Especially, you know, I'm a Mars and Aries kind of gal. So
meaning that's a very masculine grouping?
It's high energy, very big energy.
Yeah.
Sort of like do it, get it done. Like,
yeah.
And so that's 43 has a little like that 43 is pop, and it does have some of that aspect to it too. Like make a decision, like lance the boil.
Yeah.
Clean it out. Like whatever's coming, like this is the next right thing. You got to lance the boil. Right. Otherwise, you're just going to be walking in pain for no good reason. All you have to do is poke a hole in it and let it pop, you know?
Mm-hmm. Okay. So you get some of these yin heavy hexagram. You get repetitive hexagrams.
I get 44 a lot too.
And how would you describe that one?
Oh, 44 is a very, probably 44 is probably the hexagram that I was like, okay, I'm not going to just write this book. I am going to self-publish it. I was like, because I really feel like 44 has gotten a bad rap for the last,
And did you say it was femme fatale?
That's how some people look at it. It's in Wilhelm, it's called coming to meet.
Mm-hmm.
But it's coming to meet. It's a yin line at the bottom of yang lines.
Okay.
And it's like yin that's now in the position of pushing upward. So it's that yin energy now kind of like the carefully solid lines of the statecraft are all lined up. And here comes this yin line, just like, And so there's a sense that like, these are two primal energies coming together. It's going to be big. It's a big encounter.
Right.
And like that, my subheading for that one is a tornado is only destructive to that which insists on remaining in place. So 44 is kind of, so like, okay, I mean, yes, you can villainize that if you want.
Yeah.
But
right.
A tornado is really only destructive to that which insists on remaining in place.
Yeah.
So it's going to be about how you meet it. So I call that hexagram surrender.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Then in your life, that you have these energies coming through, these patterns coming through.
For sure.
And how have you met that through your life, or how have you dealt with that through your life?
I've had to build a hardy, heavy duty valve.
What does that mean to you?
It means that my spiritual practices, my being embedded in a web of healthy relationships, all helps. Like I have really good self-regulation, but then also like broader regulation within a community, I think is really important. Like my Zen practice definitely enables me to kind of like step back and decide. I mean, I think there's a level of you get to a certain point in long practice where you can turn the knob. The volume can go up or down. Do you know what I mean? To me, that's like one of the benefits of practice. I know I have access to a lot of energy.
Right.
I don't need to use it all the time. It's like hexagram 26. You could talk about like, if you have that valve, you can decide whether you're going to be a diffuse soft light or if you're going to be a laser. But you actually have some control over that.
Right.
Oh my God, I forgot to put my.
It's okay.
Oh no.
You can silence it.
Wait, did I?
It might have been mine also.
Oh no, it was mine.
Okay.
Oh, sorry about that.
Well, I'll do the same thing while we're. Yeah. Okay.
We just got talking so fast when you sat down that I forgot all about it.
Well, now I want to bring it to human design, because the other thing we got interested in I got interested in last year by way of Heather was human design, and spent a bunch of time like asking everyone to take those little tests and find out what they are. And I don't have the human design book here, but I'll make a picture of it on the screen. And do you want to describe what human design is?
I mean, I am not as well versed in human design as I am in I Ching, but I Ching is such a crucial component of human design that I found it really interesting, because again, a lot of Ra's descriptions, Ra's the man who sort of channeled this human design, a lot of his descriptions are kind of coming out of the Wilhelm translation. And so I find that really interesting.
Yeah.
Because when I look at somebody's actual numbers on their gates, like a body graph was what they call it in human design, will have 64 gates, and they correlate with the 64 hexagrams in the I Ching. But then it's also done by birth time. Yeah. So you also have some astrology overlays, and then you have some Kabbalah overlays, and you have chakra overlays. But it's not a 7 chakra system, it's a 9 chakra system. Right. What's normal is 7 or 8?
7.
7. Okay.
Has been. But there's recognition that we have many energy centers.
Right, exactly. And then you have like a basic signature, which has 2 lines, which correspond to the changing lines in a hexagram in the I Ching.
Right. Basics. Yeah. Okay. So what I've taken from human design, I mean, just the historical fact is it was channeled information to this Canadian man who then took on the name Ra Uru Hu.
I always forget which
Yeah.
of those syllables are in which order.
Yeah.
Ra.
Ra. And he had this experience of a voice speaking to him that explained how to align the I Ching hexagrams and the Kabbalah with the astrological imprint of a person.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And so you can go to a website, put in your general astrological information, and you'll get back this information that is all derived from your astrological information. So it's really fascinating because it's just another way of understanding the energetic patterns of specific astrology. And it's more, because it's 64 instead of 12, it's much more precise.
Right.
Yeah. And almost everyone I've talked with about this topic who I've gotten to put their information in is like, oh yeah, that seems so accurate.
I wish I had access to human design when I was like 18.
Yeah. And yeah,
because I would not. It would have taken such a load off.
Right. So you are 3/5.
I'm a 3/5,
and that means
which is a martyr heretic.
Yeah. It's a tough one, and we have several friends who are 3/5.
It's a really tough one because your whole life is trial and error, and so you have to try things on. And like a lot of relationships, it's like when you've learned the thing that you're supposed to learn from that relationship, you leave.
Yeah,
and that's like that is the pattern. And like,
wow,
I didn't find that till I was like 40, and I was just like, oh, but I would have been so much easier on myself if I had known this before. Because yes, this is exactly how I've lived, and because it's so out of sync with the culture, and it's like, oh man, my whole life has been one continuous mistake, which
is what it feels like.
yeah. But then when you go to Zen, like like Dogen says, practice is one continuous mistake, and that's like the whole point, And I was like, oh yes, that feels very good to me.
When did you find Zen? How old are you?
That was actually only 7 years ago.
Yeah, because we talk a lot about 7-year patterns also.
Yeah, because I was a long-term Vipassana practitioner before then, but I wanted something with more structure.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. And I was a year sober, and the 12-step rooms saved my life. Yeah. No question about it. But I needed something else.
Mm-hmm. And how did it feel like something else?
Oh, well, okay. So when I went to this Zen center, I was going for this particular teacher whose books I had read. And so I'm like, let me show up. And that teacher wasn't there at the time. And there were these other teachers there. And I mean, my first impression of the Zen center, that it was very glum. Yeah. And so I said to one person, who do I talk to about joy around here? And that person sent me to sign me up for a practice interview with this other teacher. And that teacher said, among other things, this practice taught me how to love. Oh. And I was kind of stopped in my tracks by that. And I was like, oh, well, I kind of need to learn that. And so I was like, all right, well, I'm going to come back when that teacher that I originally came here to talk to comes back. And so I signed up for a month-long retreat that winter.
Wow. Okay. And that was 2020?
The winter retreat was 2020. My first time there was 2019.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I got sober in 2018. I was sober a year in 2019. Went back to California to clean out my storage because I was like, I'm never leaving Maine. Nobody will ever drag me out of this great state. I am like in love with this place.
Yeah. That's sweet.
Yeah. I love it here.
Yeah. It's a really, it's a special place. And
it is so
different.
Special.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah. The people are different. Everything is different.
Yeah. We've talked about the whole, you have Irish background or heritage and like Ireland and Maine have this physiology.
I think my DNA was just like,
I've never even been to Ireland. Have you?
Neither have I.
I'm just assuming based
but I think there was just on a cellular level, I was like, yes, this feels very right.
Right. Yeah. I've only, I live in New Hampshire now, but I go back and forth to Maine, obviously. And I've only once lived outside of northern New England, and it was a disaster. So
I would believe it. Yeah. I mean, it's culturally, it's a little challenging for me because I'm kind of a big energy rubbing up against some sort of more reluctant people.
Reticence is what rural manners are known for.
Taciturn, but also once you get to know them, just a wicked sense of dry.
Yeah.
Just, I love it. I absolutely love it.
Yeah.
So yeah, luckily I've gotten there with a lot of people, so I get to appreciate that side of it. But at first it was like, oh,
really?
Ugh.
Yeah, I
love the place, but I don't know about this culture.
And I had a friend who was a Texan who came to visit a very long time ago, and he had gone out on his own one evening and was like, people are so mean here, or like rude. And I was comparing that to my very brief experience living in the South. And I was like, yeah, what Northern, or at least Mainers, think is polite is kind of the opposite of what Southerners think is polite.
Right, because it's mind your own business here.
Yeah.
Of course, everybody knows everybody else's business, but you pretend you don't.
Right.
Like that's also the funny thing here. Like I was at the post office sending a letter last week, and the post office lady is like, "Oh, another handwritten letter to this address." And I was like, "Oh, come on, you guys!
That's hilarious. That is hilarious."
She was like, I was like, Lee, don't leave me alone.
That's really good.
Yeah, it was because I don't have a post office box, a mailbox in my own house for like safety reasons.
Yeah.
But like, yeah. So everything goes to the post office,
and you just hand it over, and they get to see.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because I don't have stamps.
Oh, okay.
Normally, I better get some though if I'm going to continue. Yeah, but I'm not.
Yeah.
If I were, I would buy stamps.
Right. Okay, so back to martyr heretic. And I think you also said you were a generator or manifesting generator.
I'm actually just a generator.
And
I'm like a real mule.
Right. And so
I'm a mule for the universe.
You love physical labor.
I do. Yeah.
And okay, so
I love a balance.
Yeah. Well, obviously you like the intellectual stuff too, clearly. Yeah. But there's a appreciation and perhaps even a need for that, like.
Yeah, I can run a chainsaw.
Yeah. When I met Heather, she said her favorite activity was digging, and that she was digging a well.
Oh, that time.
It failed, right?
Yes, I tried it in 3 different spots. You really cannot do
a hand well alone.
That's why it's called a sand point well, because it works in sand, not in ledge. But I thought, you know what? Maybe I'll find just the right spot. I'll bring out my my pendulum, and I'll find just the right spot that this 2-inch diameter well point, I will be able to sledgehammer it into the earth and have water.
Right. Oh, that would have been nice.
It was. I cracked 2 different well caps with a sledgehammer, cast iron well caps. That's how many times I hit it with my own sledgehammering hands.
Wow.
I don't quit.
No. That's really amazing. Okay, so right. So the other, what I would call an elaboration on the human design book, is Gene Keys by Richard Rudd, and this author is still alive. You can find his work on the internet. And so this brings in this fascinating idea that someone who doesn't have a lot of science background had not realized 64 codons in the DNA, 64 in the I Ching. There's this 64 pattern that occurs through a lot of, let's say, reality. And so what Richard Rudd did was write this very beautiful, very deep book, interpreting each I Ching as hexagram as a gene key, and it's a really complicated read. And the first time I read my top 4, which again they're the same, they are the same. What do we call them? Signifiers that are in human design. It's the same set of astrological points, but in this, if you were to go to this website and look up your pattern, you would find that he's identified certain planetary configurations as meaning certain things in your life, which makes sense, of course.
Mm-hmm.
So
what I find interesting about that too is like what we've talked about before of like the development of each key, that there's like a shadow, an evolved version, and then like a city version.
Yes.
Like that's the old, like the most evolved version that you can land in. And that each of those like it's like, and that's like the changing lines in the hexagrams, you can really start to see kind of where you are on your path. Like it's, I think it's in some ways like a nice reference point to orient yourself. You're like, I'm out here doing this thing, and sometimes it feels like there's no fruit on this path.
Right.
Like, what, like you know, am I still on the right path?
Right.
And then you can kind of like, okay, well, yeah, no, in this situation, I managed to do it from the city place. Do you know what I mean? Like this is more of a gift than a curse. Like this particular trait is more of a gift than a curse. And the more I open to it, the more of I'm opening a gift.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. How have you used that?
Oh, I think I think this also plays in with like a third step language too. And like, or like,
tell us what third step is.
Wait, which step is it now? You know, it's been so long since I've been in that world, but like when you ask your higher power to take away your personality defects, is what they call it in 12 step. Your personality defects. I find this language very troubling.
Yeah.
Because to me, like almost everything that could be considered a defect in my person has a gift side, has a city side.
Right, of course.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So if I'm coming from the lower place of it, the unevolved place of that particular energetic valence or signature, like I'm going to express it poorly and it can do damage.
Right.
That exact same energetic, that frequency, valence, signature, whatever you want to call it, if I'm coming to it now, my whole being is kind of wrapping, like allowing that energy to come through a wrap or enveloping it, wrapping around it in a way that's coming from a much more developed place, then that becomes a gift.
Right.
And I think that goes back to the valve idea, because if I have a valve, I don't need to be leaking that energy all over the room and making a mess.
Yeah.
I have a valve.
Right.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So the garden hose doesn't need to be like, I could be like, no, it's for watering the garden.
Yeah. And I also, especially with the Gene Keys book, but with what you're talking about, I get the picture of, alchemical transformation, transmutation, as opposed to getting rid of defects. Like
exactly.
Mars and Aries, in one way could be a defect, except obviously it's not.
Right. Mars and Aries in the 8th house in a woman could easily be considered a defect.
Explain what it's like as a defect, and then also what it's like as a beneficial.
That it's like, it's really big energy.
Yeah.
It's like a bull in a china shop if you don't have a place to put it, a clear place to put it, and a love for it and an understanding, and a valve.
Yeah.
I mean, Mars and Aries really like needs a valve.
Yeah. It's intense.
Yeah. It's a lot.
And what does in 8th house mean?
Oh, like the house of death and transformation.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah.
So, like I don't do small talk really.
Really?
Not great. Well, I mean, I will if I have to.
Yeah.
I can.
Yeah.
But I prefer not to.
That must have been weird in California. I'm sorry. I have a stereotype of California that's really not fair.
I think you need to go
I don't
to California.
Go to California. I've been there.
And see it.
My biases are hanging out.
I think you're good. It's not totally, I think that why I finally had to leave California is it's the focus on the individual.
You don't like that?
No, I find that very alienating, actually.
Oh, interesting.
I like that my neighbors expect to see me at least once a week. Like there's like actually I see almost everybody in my neighborhood at least once a month.
Yeah, it's very sweet.
And I was saying, I really need one of those 150-gallon Tupperware totes for my future cowboy hot tub. And the next week, my neighbor is like, "Oh, we had one at the house," and
yeah,
and great,
and
it's because you really start to see like people have this ideal for like community and developing community. I mean, California has a lot of conscious community, and I spent a little time in a conscious
Does
cannabis
this just
growing
mean
community.
polyamory? What does it mean?
I mean, I do think Grow Girl kind of
Yeah.
covers like what I thought I was walking into versus what it actually was.
What did you
Like,
think you were walking into?
I truly thought I was walking into something that was going to be more collective.
Yeah.
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 Like ethical.
Mhm. Mhm.
Like I am, my ethics are a burden to bear. Because they don't always go with like the
Yeah.
Mars and Aries and like,
Yeah.
yeah, life.
Right.
Because I'm also wired toward hedonism innately too. So it's like, you know, my ethics run up against a lot of these things. Like Bodhisattva vows and wired for hedonism and Mars and Aries, like,
And sober.
and sober. I mean, yeah, thank God. Thank God. 8 years now. Right.
Yeah. Okay. Let me check my little book. Oh yeah. Okay. Right. So we have these incarnational patterns.
Right.
And so to compare, you know, mine is one way to explain mine is 5-1, which is heretic investigator. And
that's so you.
I know. And it's like
amazing.
Yeah. So it's someone who's not very interested, who doesn't care a lot about being like conformist, but is very inquisitive, I guess.
And you're not like physically throwing yourself against the wall to see what sticks, like a 3-5.
Right. Yeah. So it's not as difficult a path as a 3-5 has, let's say.
Fewer broken bones.
Yeah. And so the reason it's fun to look at this stuff for me is, you know, you can obviously do this without looking at these astrological things, but they do tend to provide a lot of clues. I'm curious about our general ability to understand what our destiny is, our individual destiny.
Those are big words.
And how we work with it. Destiny and by that I mean incarnational pattern.
Mm-hmm.
And how we work with that to the best of our ability.
Right.
And you know, really transmute it up.
I take issue with the word up.
Okay. Go ahead.
I think transmutation happens up, down, and all around.
Sure.
Do you know what I mean? I think if you get too caught, I think when people get caught in this idea of ascension and forget that the descent into the body, into where we are now is equally important. I think that's how people get caught in their heads.
Yeah.
So that is not my
right.
Yeah,
and I'm very head focused.
Well, you're an investigator, and meanwhile I'm like seeing what happens when you lay down in the middle of the road. You know, like
let's just test this one.
How does that feel with those tires roll over your legs? Oh, okay, cool. I don't have to do that again.
Right. Okay, so.
So up. Well, we can use your up terminology.
No, well, we don't need to. You know, the other interesting thing that I've learned over the past really month is when I met Heather, she was talking a lot about embodiment, and a lot of people talk about embodiment. And from this anthroposophical background that I have, I could not understand what the word meant. And obviously, I know the English word, but it's like there was a clear cultural gravitas or set of meanings behind it that I couldn't discern.
Almost like a meme.
Yeah, exactly. And somebody, our friend Piers, a couple of weeks ago said, oh, it means incarnated. And that's the anthroposophical way of understanding it. And that was like, perfect.
Then
now I get it.
Yeah.
Now I get it.
Yeah.
And so, but this idea, embodiment or incarnated, is present in all of these, let's say, modern, spiritual practices, which is how do we fully be in the body, because we're part of in this material world, in this physical world, in order to transform it is again how I still understand it. Do you? I
mean, this is why I love Zen.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Despite the way it's practiced in the US, which is be a whole other conversation. But I love being with what's real. Like I'm in love with real life. And I also have a really deep and vast spiritual practice.
Yeah.
And those two only feed each other.
Right.
Like my spiritual practice informs how I am as a gardener.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It informs everything that I do. If it informs my relation, all of my relationships with the human and more than human world. And I find all of those relationships to be equally important.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? And so for me to be incarnated is or embodied is to be in a place, and this comes back to freedom, where I don't think it's like suffering and the end of suffering, right? It's like I do not suffer from this incarnation once I love being incarnated. Once I love being incarnated, I am free.
Yeah.
And there can be no bodhisattva without a body. No body, no bodhisattva. And so even if you're in the kind of path that thinks in that way, where like, oh, you're going to be advancing like some kind of spiritual video game, and like, oh, are you going to go back or not? Are you going to go back or not? Like, I feel like back,
reincarnate?
Yeah. Like, are you going to go back or not? I feel like I would be a person like with her hand up saying, yes, but can we guarantee this time I'm going to have boobs and there's going to be pizza? Like, that would be like,
what does that mean?
It means like how awesome to be in a woman's body and have boobs and eat pizza, you know? So for all the other difficulties of this life and the and all the twists and turns of the bodhisattva path, and like these vows, you know, like, I still have boobs and there's still pizza. Do you know what I mean? So like, no matter how difficult it gets, like, there are so many simple delights in this world, you know, like, and this life is so rich. Or a friend of mine put in a talk, like, 1 million miracles in the morning and 500,000 miracles in the afternoon. And and we miss them. Yeah. We don't see them. Right. Because we're busy doing what the culture has told us to do. Yeah. Like,
so you live really outside of what the culture tells us to do. And
I have said,
probably of all the people I know, you are like possibly the most outside of it. I mean, while being connected to all the people around you, obviously.
I have an iPhone. Yeah. I have a car. But other than that, yes, I am very not interested.
And it really, like, it's so admirable. I really admire that about you.
Well, it came out of necessity. Like, you know, we always talk about just doing the next right thing, right?
Yeah, which I only recently learned is an AA phrase.
It is an AA phrase.
Yeah. I thought Heather made it up.
No, I did not. But doing the next right thing in some paraphrased form exists in almost every spiritual tradition, because it really is the only way to build a life. Yeah. Because we only have puny human eyes and can only see so much. We can only really, like naked mole rats, we can really only sense what's just in front of us. So for us to make big, ambitious goals and plans about things that we can't even see is just really fumbling in the dark. Yeah. So me landing on that, buying that land, and then living on it, and then being in the tiny house, like designing the tiny house, and then having that on it, and then every step, like, there was no grand plan. You know what I mean? When I first bought it, I thought it was going to be for coaching clients, but because I ended up moving there, I had to close out all my coaching clients because there was no internet or running water or electricity. Like, so I was basically camping for several years, and I loved it. And at first, it seemed like such a disaster. Like, oh, maybe I should sell this land, but before I sell it, I'm going to live on it just to enjoy it for the brief time I had it. Yeah, and then I had the best summer of my life. I was just like swimming in lakes and shooting arrows and grilling meat over an open flame on a stick. Like, I was like, this is amazing. I'm so happy. And so here I've been, and here I'll remain. I do love, you know, it all works.
Yeah. Zen farmer.
The Zen farmer story. It's like, it was never even taught where I studied Zen, but it's like just more of a colloquial thing. And it is basically the core of my whole philosophy. Yeah. You know, it's like the horse runs onto the Zen farmer's property. All his neighbors are like, oh my God, you're so lucky. And then the horse breaks his son's leg and they're like, oh, sir, you're so unfortunate. And he's like, who can say what's good and what's bad? And then the army comes to take his son, but they can't take him because the son has a broken leg. And all the neighbors are like, you're so lucky. And he's like, who can say what's good and what's bad? And I feel like my friend Sarah in California that I talk to, we talk all the time. We almost end every conversation with that, like, who can say what's good and what's bad? Really? You know? Yeah. Yeah. Because, I mean, we've been friends for so long now that it always plays out this way. Like, when I was going to move to this land, it was a disaster. It was a catastrophe. Best thing that ever happened to me. When I first got sober, I got a $12 an hour gardening job. So humiliating. 40 years old, working as a $12 an hour guy. Worst thing that ever happened. Best thing that could have happened to me. I learned so much
Yeah.
that applies to me making my place now, my homestead now, and like the way I landscape it and all the things I'm able to do and all the plants that I am already in relationship with. It's amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, was it humiliating? Yes. I had a boss who would like literally point at me and be, do you know who that is? Oh, she's your gardener now. It was truly.
Oh, that's horrifying. I'm sorry.
It was truly a series of deep humiliations and also amazing.
Yeah, yeah. Martyr heretic is like humiliation also in a way, isn't it?
Martyr heretic is like, yeah, sometimes it's going to work, sometimes it's not. And it's up to you to find out which is which.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think martyr heretic actually is more on the humiliation side of the humiliation continuum. Like there are lots of absolute humiliations.
Right.
Yeah.
I was watching some documentary yesterday and someone said this thing that stuck with me overnight, of course, which is, my whole life changed once I stopped caring what other people thought about me.
Right. What is one of the 4 agreements? Don't take things personally.
Oh, interesting.
I would say that is my number 1 low-key superpower.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Yeah. That's good.
Except, of course, my mortal enemies who must be slain. I mean, we make exceptions.
We love our enemies.
There's just a hint. No. We slay them. I only have a handful and they shall all be slain.
God. But back to, where do we want to take this? I think
freedom. We're talking about freedom.
It's about freedom philosophy. So you have all these patterns that influence your life, where you're born, your astrological configuration, obviously the karma that you're born into,
plus your genes,
plus
your environment, plus your nutrition.
Yeah. How do you deal with all that? How do you find the freedom in that? How do you make it?
What else would you do?
Well, how specifically? Give examples.
Oh, specifically, I do the next right thing.
Yeah.
And I don't think about all that.
Mm-hmm.
And then when I'm in like a crisis or I'm like spinning out into some weird, dysregulated, unexpected place like I was last week, I'm like, surely I should run an astrological chart about this. Why have I not done that before?
Right.
Yeah. And then you go to astro.com and realize you can run charts like for the future and for the past on exact dates. And you're like, oh.
Yeah.
And then you can lose an entire week.
Yes, I know.
So learning to see those patterns and understanding that they exist, from what it's done for me personally in my own practice is that, my free will is almost 100% geared towards surrender. That if I let go, I know I'm held. If I'm here, I'm held.
Yeah.
And that if I trust life completely, I always have what I need.
Right.
In the moments when I was like sleeping in my car in a Walmart parking lot.
Yeah.
In the moment, like any of these moments where it seemed like this can't be right.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Right.
This can't be right. Then it's not even like God's plan. I'm not so much a God's plan person.
Yeah.
But certainly there are cosmic patterns in which I am intimately embedded.
Mm-hmm.
And I have it, and because of these patterns, I have a deep responsibility to absolutely be myself.
Right.
And I have a deep responsibility not only to be absolutely myself, but also in a way that requires no defense, that I can remain open-hearted and loving, except to the handful of mortal enemies, and move through the world that way. And then all of the things that are required of me will be obvious, and they will just be a series of next right things. And that I see less catastrophe in things,
Yeah. Okay.
Does that make sense?
Oh, yes, it definitely makes sense. And
like I can relax into the pattern that I can't even see.
Right. And so the other thing I'm gaining from this conversation is, of course, I think probably because I'm an investigator, I really want to see the pattern ahead, and I want to be part of like forming it. And so there's a lack of surrender in that approach that I have, but it's also like, again, I think this is what's what's the INTJ is the other thing that I have, which is like the architect or the mastermind
that
or
is
whatever.
like the opposite of me. Yeah.
What, right. And you are,
I'm an INFP.
yeah. Yeah. So it's a very, I want to see ahead.
Myers-Briggs for y'all.
Yeah.
That's a Myers-Briggs shortcut. Clearly, we are looking for archetypes. We could also do the Carolyn Mays archetypes.
Oh, yeah. I've spent a lot of time with that, which I love that stuff.
I love an archetype.
Yeah.
It's good way to, but do you think this comes back to, like you're saying, you can see the pattern and I
want to be part of structuring it.
But are you part of structuring it, or are you part of this thing of like evolved expression, regular expression, city expression?
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what? So
right.
It's like, like for example, two people can have like one of those side by side synastry.
Oh, charts. Yes, astrological charts. Yeah,
that shows you like the possible pattern or the possible impact, but it's still embodied people who form the expression of that pattern. Right. Like, you sew, you can have beautiful pattern. Right. But if you're not a skilled seamstress, you could really make a shitty dress.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean?
Exactly.
So yes. Okay. So we have these astrological patterns. We have these imprints. We have the I Ching giving a sort of more of a map that is a map in better relationship with the territory than most maps, and so but our embodied participation is still, that's what does it. Right.
And so the way I'm thinking about it is like, I want to discern what the correct interpretation of, let's say, my pattern is for me. Like, how do I best interface with it? Because I
surrender.
I don't like that one.
Yeah, that's because of your pattern.
Go ahead. Just tell me how it works again.
Surrender?
No. Are you sure that's not the right answer for you?
No, I think that's pretty much just
the answer for everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So how do you do it?
How else are you even supposed to see? Mm-hmm. If you're not surrendered, your eyes are already clenched closed. Like you need to soften to open for your eyes to even open. Mm-hmm. Like the soften and the clench. I mean, for me, I think that's part of even knowing what the next right thing is, being able to sense the next right thing. Although, again, in human design, I'm sacral authority, so this is a little bit specific, I think, to me or other sacral authority people. Gut reaction people, as opposed to emotional wave.
Yeah, I'm emotional wave.
Yeah. So you need 30 days. Yeah. You know what I mean? I need about 30 seconds, if that. Yeah. So it's like, how do I, if I feel myself clenching, can I just do, sometimes it's so simple. Whatever the causes and conditions are that got you to the clench don't matter so much as how are you just going to meet this actual, literal, physical clench right now. Mm-hmm. And so can I just do something as simple as box breathing, to get my vagus nerve back online and functioning and being able to put me into that parasympathetic response. Yeah. Can I just do, and all that is just like an inhale with a longer exhale. Right. Nice, deep, slow inhale, longer exhale. And it makes a box because you hold it at the top and hold it at the bottom. Right. But the focus of that is that longer exhale. That's what gets you where you need to be. And that just gets you to that softness again. Mm-hmm. So that you can actually, your senses can kind of come back online. Yeah. You when you get into the clench, you literally lose your senses. Right. I lost my damn senses last week. I lost my damn senses. Yeah. And so it's okay. And that's the basics of emotional regulation. But then again, I had to come to all you guys. Yeah. Be okay, I can't I'm having trouble holding this myself. Right. Can we all hold it together with me for a minute? And it's so much easier with other people, of course. Co-regulating with people that you trust and care about. That's Sangha. In Buddhism, that's what Sangha is. That's what it's for. And
what's interesting is you and I both are introvert. Yeah. And yet still, I experience exactly the same thing. If I want to change my mood, go hang out with someone else. Right.
Right. For better or for worse.
Yeah. Well, usually it's almost always for better.
Well, but it depends on
right.
Yeah. With really trusted friends who you trust to hold you.
Right.
And hold whatever you're bringing, because you all have that moment where you're bringing something different. So you're not like a burden to the community, because like everybody's got their moment of like, oh shit, this is too much for me.
Right.
I'm struggling with this.
Right. Yeah. And I think I also am realizing now at this, late 40s age, like, wow, I really thought that all the emotional shit would be gone by now.
No, it actually gets deeper.
Isn't that awful?
No, it's wonderful. It's wonderful. Yeah. Because I'll take my own example. Yesterday morning, I was not in a great place.
Yeah.
I came, I saw my friends. Yeah. I left, and that was a sustain, because I metabolized what I could on my own.
Yeah.
And then I metabolized in a group, almost like we had a feast.
Yeah.
And we all ate it.
Yeah.
Absorbed what nourished and shat out the rest.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I got some clarity, like, and so in a way, like the deeper, the more your capacity grows. Yeah. Like I think the feelings get bigger because you have more capacity.
Right.
And more generosity with yourself and others, and more love.
Right.
So like the feelings will now expand to fit your capacity. It's like, what's that thing they say about like, what's that law? Like a project will take the time that you give it. Like,
what is that? Yeah, that's true.
I mean, that is also true.
And sometimes it'll take 3 times as long, but it'll definitely expand to.
It'll definitely expand
the
to
minimum.
fit the time you give it.
Yeah.
And I think like emotions start to expand what your mature capacity is.
Right.
Yeah.
So this is.
And the capacity of your community.
Also a conversation we had yesterday, and I did not plan this out. Yesterday morning, we were talking with a different set of friends about this concept, the sisterhood wound, which I had never really thought about that, but I immediately had this response like, oh, I don't have that. And then we talked about it later with you, and all the women who were there that afternoon were also saying, yeah, I don't really have that. But I had wondered overnight, is the sisterhood wound the same as like a patriarchy wound? Is it the same thing, or is it a different thing?
I think it's a different thing.
And they're not linked?
Oh, I mean, that's a good question. I mean, I guess it's related to how much you've internalized patriarchy. I think internalizing patriarchy does exacerbate a sisterhood wound.
Yeah.
But
you
not
really think
necessarily. I think there's a really specific relationship to mothering and sistering.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And I think that like mother wounds and sister wounds are like 2 peas in a pod.
Uh-huh.
And I think like, I haven't felt particularly competitive with other women, or like, I'm not participating in that whole like, oh, I'm 52 and now I should be getting Botox. Like I'm so glad I live in a place where like literally nobody
does that.
Like no, you would be an outlier.
Yeah.
If people would look askance.
Yeah,
if you were like, oh, you put botulism in your face.
Like we were in Connecticut a couple of weeks ago when we were both like,
oh, this is what people's faces look like now. Holy shit! Yeah, no, it's shocking. It's actually shocking.
Yes, it's shocking.
It's shocking. Like whenever I'm in a place where I'm like, whoa, oh my God, wow. When do I get to go back to Maine?
Mm-hmm.
You know, and just see real people,
right,
and real faces and real curmudgeons. You know, I love all that stuff.
Yeah.
But
that was competitive with other women.
Yeah. That the sister wound is like female friendships are very fraught. I see it even in my 10-year-old niece.
Really?
On the playground. Like female friendships are totally like they start rough.
Yeah.
They're tough.
I didn't have consistent female friendships until I was over 40. Which is weird.
Wait, what?
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe you have a whole different kind of sisterhood wound. Maybe you just don't have the one described by women sitting on a new moon night anointing oils on each other's foreheads. I think you might have a different brand, perhaps a bigger one.
That would be hilarious. I'm going to probably cut this part out because it's too personal.
Oh, no. You need to keep this part. That shit's real.
Oh, gosh, yeah.
Wow, really?
Yeah, really. I mean, obviously, I have had female friends, but this idea, like women are like, oh yeah, I had a group of girlfriends that I've been in touch with since college. It's like, I never.
I mean,
never.
Yeah. No, I mean, I don't really have. I mean, not since college.
Yeah.
I mean, I went to like an art school and hung out with a man who wore a cape and composed clarinet pieces that he would then call "I like cake one" and "I like cake two." So
sound art.
I was really in like a Dostoevskian.
Yeah.
I'm living in a Russian novel era at that time. So
That's good.
it was not like I wasn't going for mani-pedis with my girls.
Right.
You know?
And same. I mean, I went to art school. My husband went to art school, but we went in Maine and you went in Philly.
Philly, yeah.
Yeah. There was no like Russian novel in our background, but it was, there was definitely no mani-pedis. It was like, they give you soup on Wednesdays.
Right. It was like my purple sweatshirt, my leotard. Like it was like I was
theater.
Always, yeah. So I was always in like a leotard with a sweatshirt over it, and then some Doc Martens. Like I was actually that art student.
Yeah. Well, hey, that was of the time.
Lean in.
Yeah. Yeah. Let me see what else I wrote.
Are you Gen X or are you an elder millennial?
Gen X.
Okay.
Last 1 or 2 years of Gen X. Yeah.
Why are we not involved in politics? I mean, that is a big jump. We could,
go ahead. I mean,
but why is
is Gen X a small generation or is it like not super populated? Are both of those things true?
There are a lot of us.
I know, but I think it's a slightly shorter time window, like maybe 15 years as opposed to 20.
No, I think isn't it like 1968 to 1988 or something like
that?
Oh,
no, it's 1980.
1968 to 1980.
Yeah, because millennials were people who became adults at millennium.
So elder millennials are mid-80s. Okay.
Yeah.
Like when you look at Congress, right, you have the decrepit farts who are falling out of their chairs. And then you have like the AOCs. Like Gen X is just like
not represented.
None of this worked. And we don't even feel like participating in it.
Yeah.
Like there's a real sense of like disaffected.
Yeah.
And I guess what made me think of it is like the Doc Martens and the leotard and smoking cigarettes out on the front stoop. You know, it's just like
all those 90s movies.
I mean,
Reality Bites.
Right. Like, exactly. Like that.
Grunge.
Yeah. Like I guess, but boy, our generation stepping out of Congress and leadership roles has really, that absence has had an impact.
And you could wonder if it will start to enter those roles now, because obviously the older generation, the prior generation is baby boomer, right?
It's like, they're all, I mean, and older. Like who are those people in Congress? They're like 90.
I think everyone's baby boomer. There's no greatest generation anymore, I don't think.
But what about that silent generation people that are right before the boomers? They're like 80s something.
No, I think greatest generation is before the boomers.
There's like a greatest and then a silent and then a boomer.
I thought silent was between the two wars, but maybe I'm totally wrong.
No, I think that might be. Yeah, I think that's right. I think that's right. Yeah.
People who became adults in the 1930s are no longer in Congress.
Are you sure? I
think so.
I don't know, man. Some of them seem really, really old.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
But the point is, people like 50 to 60 might now, meaning Gen X, might now be more likely to enter.
Right. I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
But it might always be an underrepresented.
But there's like so many alphas in there, like Gen Alpha or Gen Z or whatever the people in their early 30s are now.
Why? They're why.
Okay.
Because Gen Z is like our friend who's 25, his age.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they are really young.
Oh, but they seem great.
They are.
They seem like they have their shit together.
The ones
more
that
than
I've hung out with are actually like, wow.
Are really impressive.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
and it's amazing because they grew up like immersed in the internet. And
They've had iPhones around for pretty much their whole lives, right?
Yeah.
2007 was iPhone and
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Right. Like, it is like the very young ones right now do seem to have a handle on things. Like all those things where people would go and speak at a college and talk about AI and all the graduates started booing them.
Yes, that was a good one.
How great is that?
Yeah.
Like, it's amazing.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, like maybe there's hope.
And I was hearing about a young, I don't know, nephew or cousin or something, a 19 or 20-year-old, and he's like part of this neo-Luddite movement, which actually, it's not Luddite. They're using iPhones, but they're just being
Right.
very conscientious
Yeah.
about how they use social media and and that's like conscientious is good.
Conscientious is good.
Yeah.
I love that. I'm
Yeah.
living that Amish adjacent life, and
Mhm.
I'm couldn't be more pleased with
Right.
myself.
Right.
And it's also so cheap that you don't
It's so much cheaper.
that you're
Yeah.
not like forced
Yeah.
into participating in the marketplace in ways that are out of alignment with right livelihood.
Right.
Do
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
And that's important to me.
Yeah, that is. Huh. When you think about right livelihood, like how have you thought about that in your life?
I thought about it a lot when I was a cannabis grower. I thought about it a lot when it was part of Vipassana as well. So that wasn't a new Zen. When I came to Zen, wasn't it like a new thing? Is the way I am working in the world creating harm or benefit?
Yeah. And so with cannabis, did you feel like it was
I actually felt like I was a benefit. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. And the way I was very conscientious about the way I grew it.
Yeah.
And now I just try to have like as little waste as possible and like
you do
really
impressively that way.
Reduce consumption to a point that is like very anachronistic, you
Yeah.
know? And yeah, like that makes me happy. Like I actually also enjoy the challenge of it. Like, okay, how little can I live on?
Yeah.
It's like, 500 monthly nut is actually totally doable.
It's incredible. And it's also just such a testament to free choice and free will and like,
right.
Yeah.
Cause like then I talked to people who were like, oh, what a privilege that you have to, I was like, oh God, the P word. Why don't you just STFU, okay? Like, I was like, why don't you want to swap for a day? I was like, no, actually, wait, no, I wouldn't want to swap with you in your apartment with running water and your day spent under fluorescent lights because hey, that was your choice. Yeah. You signed up for that. Like nobody told you to do that.
Yeah.
Like actually everybody told you to do that. I'm sorry, but you could have still made another choice.
Okay, so that's a good question for me to ask you, which is, what do you think it was about your life that allowed you to so easily not so easily, that's a projection, but to say, I'm not trading my freedom for fluorescent lights. It was something like that,
Yeah, I mean, that's, I think, a really good question. I think some of it comes from having a narcissistic parent.
Do you want that in
That's
here?
fine.
Okay.
I think narcissism is not all, we want to say it's very negative, but it comes out of very direct childhood harms.
Yeah.
And a need to control things to feel like you are safe and loved. And I think growing up in that kind of environment made me extra non-compliant.
Huh. Yeah.
I think it made me, instead of being one of the siblings that was like, oh yes, I was like, abso-fucking-lutely not.
Interesting.
From birth.
Yeah.
And so, looking at institutional authority and just authority in general.
Right.
I have a pretty challenging relationship with authority.
Right. And yet, we've kind of compared notes on childhood. Like you liked going to school. You didn't perceive it as authority that was overbearing somehow.
Because I feel like I was, how do I?
Yeah.
I was I could read when I was very, very, very young.
Yeah.
And so I was into books. And so school was a place where books were.
Yeah.
And that was really appealing to me. And like, so when I was 7, 8, and 9, I spent my summers volunteering at the library. And I learned things like self-hypnosis and I became like a real, like little nerd, like hardcore, like how am I ever going to make friends? And then by 6th grade, they're like, that lady's just weird. Like, why is that girl so weird? And so, but like, then I was just like, all right, I guess I'm a weirdo. I'm just going to double down, keep learning these things.
Yeah.
And so I think that path just, I don't know why I was okay. I mean, I wasn't always like, I was like, oh, this is very alienating, but I don't know. It was okay.
Yeah.
Like I kind of trusted my path even then, if that makes sense. It seems very weird. Like when I was 7, I wanted to start studying French. I just went and bought myself a French dictionary and just started learning words and putting them together and like not knowing anything about another language. But like, I really wanted to do that.
Right.
So I did it.
Right.
And I think like, but I grew up in like a very working class neighborhood, very working class family. So it's like, I had to really, really look for those opportunities.
Yeah.
Like I had to really burrow and furrow and try to find where where
Right.
to find what I was looking for. Where are the maps?
Yeah.
Who's hiding the maps?
Huh. Yeah. And I think I didn't struggle academically with school. I hated going to school from kindergarten on. And public, private school, it didn't matter. They all were terrible. And but
Really?
interestingly, you said that thing about books. So I grew up in a situation where there was plenty of money. And one of the things my dad had said to me is, you can have as many or any book you want ever. And I took full advantage of that.
Oh,
I was like, I want
amazing.
Of course it was, it was the 80s and the 90s. You couldn't just go onto Amazon and order books,
right.
but it was like, yeah, I want to go to the bookstore and buy books. And
oh my God.
Yeah. So for me, the books were at home.
See, for me, the only books at home were mine.
Yeah.
And so like we would have this thing because we were kind of, I guess, a poor neighborhood. And so we would have this, they had one of these like federal programs called RIF, which was called Reading is Fundamental. And I remember these RIF days because they were like Christmas to me.
Oh, wow.
Like they would just put all of these books on tables and you could take one for free.
Oh, wow.
And you could take any one you want.
Wow.
And it was like, I was like, oh my God, like it's RIF days coming up. Cause like, you would get this like Scholastic handout where you would like Scholastic was selling books through the schools, very clever company, I guess.
Yeah.
And like, so I would try, but like there was only so much money. So like I could only pick like, I had to be very careful. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But RIF Day,
you could
take whatever you wanted.
Interesting. How many times did RIF Day happen?
Like twice a year, maybe once or twice a year. Yeah.
Wow. So we both experienced this thing. Like when I was a child, I felt like it is so much more efficient for me to learn from books than from teachers.
I mean, that is true.
It is until you get into languages, which is a funny thing.
Yeah. And math.
Math. I think I felt like books are better than teachers in math, but spoken language, you can only go so far with it.
You do really need some other people around for that. Yeah.
And there's obviously other things like rock climbing. Good job learning it from a book. Yeah.
Very good to have an instructor.
Yes.
Have you ever done that?
Rock climbing?
Yeah.
Oh, we've never talked about this.
No.
I spent so much time rock climbing. My first serious boyfriend as a teenager, he was really into climbing. He was like a climbing bum. And so spent years climbing with him. And then later on in when Daniel and I were married and in our 30s, we got into climbing And I don't anymore because I got like, at a certain point you reach a sense of mortality and it's like, this is dangerous.
I was like that with hang gliding. I went to hang gliding school.
I never would do that.
Oh, it was absolutely incredible. What year was it? I had just ended this 10-year relationship and I was like, all right, let's jump off a cliff and see if we can fly. So that year for my birthday, I booked myself a tandem leap in Sylmar Park in LA. And they had this.
Who went with you?
I just went by myself.
Tandem?
Well, an instructor, obviously, someone good at hang gliding. It wasn't like a buddy. It was a skilled professional. But then after I loved it so much, like we were flying and we were looking at the backs of hawks. We were like flying above. I've never seen a hawk flying from above before. Yeah. It was an incredible sight. And so then I signed up and I was at this, they had this whole training center at Dockweiler Beach near LAX. And I was like, and it turned out I was not a natural at this.
Is anyone?
Yes. Oh, no. Like there are people that look like there are some, I was the only woman there too. Like women have too much of a self-preservation instinct to really get in hang gliding. I think you'll find but then I thought, I just had this breakup. This is great. The ratio of men and women is 9-1. I was like, how could I go wrong? But then I realized, you know what? If you're not a natural at hang gliding, you should probably find another hobby. Yeah. I mean, I landed face down in the sand so many times, like nose down, because I was too reactionary.
Yeah.
Like I would over adjust to what needed to be done. And I was like, this is not, I need to come back to this at another time in my life when I'm less caught in my reactions.
God. Okay. So how many times did you do it?
Hang gliding?
Yeah.
Well, I did the tandem flight once and then I enrolled in the school. So I was doing it like every weekend.
Okay.
Yeah.
Meaning like how many times did you go out? 10?
Well,
20?
When you go to the school, there's these big dunes.
Oh.
So you're like it's a training center. So there's these giant dunes that you jump off over and over again all day.
Okay.
Over and over and over again. So you have
Okay.
to carry the wing back
Yeah.
up the dune, and then you jump off again.
Yeah.
And so it's like you're practicing like in a sand pit right at the
Mhm.
ocean.
Oh, I
Yeah.
get it.
So
Sorry.
once I did
Yeah.
the big jump, and,
Yeah.
and it was funny because we had like no wind that day, and that guy looked at me and he's like, "If it was anybody else today, I wouldn't go, but you look like a woman who knows how to jump off a cliff." I think I was like, what was I, 31 maybe then? And I was like, "Sir, you are correct."
Wow. I don't know how you take that line.
That I look like
Ready to jump off a cliff?
yeah, like I will not stop running.
Okay.
Because
I see.
we're not going to catch wind right
Right.
away. So we literally had to run off the cliff. And so we did drag a little bit in the brush, but
Oh, that's really.
he's like, you cannot, and he looked at me, he's like, "You cannot stop running." And I was like, "Sir, I've been running my whole life."
Wow. That's so freaky.
Yeah, it turned out to be such another one of like, I feel like everything's a metaphor and nothing's a metaphor in my life, even the town I live in, it's like,
I know.
like how, like I just, it's weird. So, yeah. Like how, yeah, why? I was like, I will not stop running.
Right.
Ask the 10-year ex I just broke up with. I will not stop running.
Yeah, it's like everything's a metaphor and everything's kind of a what do we call it? A holographic picture of the whole thing.
What do you mean? Oh yeah, like a microcosm.
Yeah,
of it all.
microcosm.
Yeah, always. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Like this artist that I saw her exhibit. I think I tell you about this. Like, her name is Heather something. I was in Savannah, Georgia, and her work was in this gallery. And her art was that she took like cigarette butts and stuff from public places and extracted the DNA and made a mask, like a face from the DNA, and put it next to the piece of detritus that she found.
How does that work?
And that was the art. I have no idea how it works, but it was so creepy and like also I've never forgotten it. Do you know what I mean? Like it made such an impact on me that we are leaving these traces of ourselves with every action that are far more complete than we can even understand, that our presence is rippling out on every single level all the time.
Yeah.
It's like, what a deep responsibility that is. And also creepy.
Yeah. That's really interesting.
Isn't it?
Wow.
Yeah. To make a face from your cigarette butt? What? Shut up, lady. Stop doing that. That's creepy.
And so I do wonder if that's still like in the realm of art as opposed to like actual possibility. I think it is not actual possibility yet.
I think she was on that border of like what technological capabilities and what, like, I mean, from your spit, like you can tell certain things, right?
But you
like,
can't like see a person's whole physiognomy.
Yeah, but you could probably put enough pieces together, you know?
That's curious. That's really curious.
Because it also felt like, oh, what a violation.
Yeah.
And also, wow, we're being violated like this all the time, like.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then you just think about things like kissing and you're like, wow, you are really, that is a deeper DNA exchange than you might automatically think,
right.
Like,
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Hey, so, we mentioned this book, The Gene Keys and Human Design. And so what it took me a little while to understand is that what people are talking about is actually like a DNA upgrade. And I don't have any scientific terminology to speak about this, but do you think that's what's going on?
Well, I can think of it in terms of like nervous system upgrades that I know I have gone through.
Yeah, we've been talking about this astrological configuration happening right now.
Oh, Barbeau's basket. I think we kind of, yes. Are we getting like a collective upgrade? Mm-hmm. Do you know what I mean? And are we as individuals responsible for our own, for every nervous system capacity upgrade that I've gotten? Like, and at a thing like a month-long meditation retreat where you're meditating now with a lot of other people who are having a very different experience from you. Yeah. And they're in your nervous system because that's part of what the compression chamber of like a Zendo or that kind of thing is. You're now with the energy of all these other people.
I've never done this. So I've
done quite, it's, really?
I've never done it. I don't want to, but
no, it's challenging.
Yeah.
It is challenging, but like that was like in terms of like my memorable nervous system upgrades, because there was a time like toward the end where like my nervous system is fried.
Really?
From all
the other people?
Of the people. Yeah. Like, and because I'm pretty absorbent.
Yeah.
And so like I'll try to clear some stuff.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Right.
And so, you know, some people are really easy to sit next to, and some people are really challenging to sit next to. Some people are really, really staticky, really staticky. And so it's like, oh, look, how do I metabolize this? And by the end, because like when people are in that compressor, a lot of stuff is coming up. So like they're in a more intense experience than normal, but they're expressing it in a sort of etheric way, right? Bringing us back to Steiner.
Yeah.
Like, so how do you, it's these bodies in one space being very still. And then it's this etheric friggin' weather.
Right.
That is like, wow.
Yeah.
It's big etheric weather. And so if you're like functioning on all of those levels on all cylinders, you are also in that etheric weather and trying to be like, okay, hang on. Like, we got a high pressure system over here. We got a low pressure system over here. Can we kind of like bring them together and kind of neutralize that a little bit? And how do we regulate the etheric chaos in this room that otherwise looks totally silent? And like, that's what I miss about being in person on those things. But you can be much sloppier on, you know, if you're at a distance, like you can cry, like, you know, you can just like really let things out.
You're talking about like
if you're in
Zoom
a
meditation groups?
if you're in a Zoom retreat, it's a very different experience because you're not responsible for the other people in the same way. Right. You know,
that's very curious.
But that's also freedom, right? Like this brings us back to freedom because like if you know you can trust your capacity to do that and you're continually increasing your nervous system capacity, and I mean like just truly rest, like knowing when to rest, your actual nervous system. Right. Your physical nervous system is also what prepares you to be like, how is the community upgrade due to Barbeau's basket going to impact us? And what role do I have the capacity to play in that? Yeah. You know what I mean? That I'm going to be responsible for increasing my capacity so that I can do whatever is required of me, that I can honor my vows, that I can be present, that I can, and then I can also show up as myself. So it's also not going to be, you know, bullshit. Right. You know, like what I would get and like invited to speak at AA meetings sometimes. And they're like, oh, we never had a Zen practice. I was like, oh, if you're expecting Thich Nhat Hanh, you're going to be sorely fucking disappointed. That's awesome.
Not that kind of Zen.
And that's the beauty of Zen. Because like each practitioner, like each according to their nature, each bodhisattva has their own name. Like at the beginning of the sutras, it'll list all the bodhisattvas present, and it'll be like like bodhisattva of the moonshine on lilies, bodhisattva of like the grains, bodhisattva of infinite heart, you know, and like.
But your name is pretty like calm. Your Zen name.
My Dharma name is Reigetsu, which means spirit moon.
Yeah, it's like so calm and silvery, and like that's not what you like.
Your Dharma. Thank you. Well, your Dharma name contains like your challenge and your gift, just like we were saying. Like so, it's like this
shadow gift.
In a way, the moon is big energy.
Yeah, of course. Right.
You know what I mean? Right. But it's reflecting.
Right.
It's not the big energy itself.
Yeah.
And like moon is a pretty big metaphor in Zen and, you know, a lot of spiritual traditions. So right. It's the gift and the challenge of my practice. And and that's why I kind of took it as like when I wanted to change my name, because it felt very right to me. And it felt like I was being seen as who I was in that moment and received a name appropriate to both my aspirations and my challenges. Yeah. You know? Yeah. And then shortening it to Ray. Like Ray is kind of a funny name because it occurs in many different cultures. Yeah. And it's not gendered. It means like zero. It means like jewel. It means bell. It means spirit. Pretty. It means gift. It means so many different things. And I really, it felt right. You know? But then of course, when I ran for select board, I had to use my real name. And so
here you are.
Here I am. I'm Heather again.
Yeah. Okay, we've been talking an hour and 20 minutes. You got any other like wrap up thoughts?
Oh, I don't know. We can't like Joe Rogan it and just go for 3.
Sure. Well, I ran out of notes, so you're welcome to
No, I think we've
I ran out of notes.
Yeah, I think what are your thoughts on freedom? You talk a little bit.
Well, so as you know already, I recently went through and reread Steiner's Philosophy of Freedom again. I read it in 2 translations at the same time, so I could kind of understand like how different authors in English were using some of the key words, because it's a very technical book in the sense that you have to really understand how he is defining specific words in order to understand the point of the book.
Well, because Steiner does use words really in unusual ways sometimes.
Yeah.
Like intuition, he uses it in thinking. Living thinking took me a while to be like, oh, okay, I'm still.
All of us are still like, what is living thinking? Yeah, I mean, that's not right. So, but the thing that I have taken from that reading this time is, okay, a free individual works out of their love for their goal or objective at all times.
You had me until goal or objective.
I know. Yeah. Well, how do you want to say it? I know you don't like goal-oriented language.
Well, one thing I struggle with Steiner is just his masculine Germanic excess.
It doesn't bother me.
I know,
because I don't have a patriarchy wound.
I mean, I don't even think it's a patriarchy wound. I think it's like, I don't know. It just it feels like, oh. Yeah, just different from what my orientation. Yes. It's very dramatic, very masculine.
Yeah,
but I don't know. What do I think it is? Like,
I mean, so this is kind of goes back to this thing we were talking about, incarnational patterns, destiny. Like, I am very interested in defining things that I want to work towards, and usually they're creative projects. Like for me, they're almost always some kind of creative project, like a book or a painting or blah blah blah. Yeah.
Oh no, I have those things,
but those are goals. Those are objectives. Do you not see it that way?
Yes, and
yeah.
I don't want to get too caught in my conception of my goal and not be with what's actually happening.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean? Like, yeah, I don't think, did that make sense, right? I don't need to elaborate.
Oh, that makes sense.
Like I need to be here.
Yeah.
First and foremost.
Yeah.
And so
this also, remember, in human design, manifestor type.
Yeah. Oh,
and I wonder if that's a difference.
That's very interesting. Yeah. If you're holding that bigger, like, here's what we have to manifest. And I'm like, okay, I'm just doing what's in front of me.
Yeah. Because I strongly feel like I need to be part of the design of it.
I mean, I felt that way about my house. I feel that way about my land.
Right.
You know, like that very, very much so. But that's also in conversation. Like, I guess I would put primacy more on relationality than goals.
Relationality is one of these other words that we've talked about. I have trouble understanding what this means. Obviously, I know what the word means, and I can use it in a sentence. But there's deeper meanings to these cultural or spiritual terms.
Like embodiment and relationality.
Yeah,
I think there is.
So if you knew what the anthroposophical term for relationality was, I might understand it. And maybe this will be a thing.
We need Pierce for this. We need Pierce for this. Because he is the bridge walker.
Yeah.
Between like the contemporary spiritual practice and anthroposophy. Yeah. Like that was really that he was able to give you a Steiner term for it. That's great.
Yeah. Okay, on that, should we wrap up?
Yeah, I think we're great.
Thank you so much.
Beautiful. Oh
yeah, God. Thank you.
I love hanging out with you, and now other people can hear it and see if they get benefit from it. Which I don't know. It's just us chatting, so it's weird.
Are you going to start coaching again?
Yes, when I have the infrastructure in place, I am going to start coaching again.
Yeah. And that'll be in the fall, in the winter?
That will be next spring.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
That's good. That's a good goal.
Yeah. Boundaries and belonging will be back. And boundaries and belonging will be back first. And then there's going to be a 3-part series.
Cool.
Of readily available courses that I'm going to record. And then if those are resonating with you, then I'm going to move to one-on-one.
Yeah.
I realize that there needs to be a little bit more preamble before one-on-one, because I have a very specific style.
Clearly. She's unusual.
but we work fast. So you don't have to work with me long, but we usually get a lot done in a short time.
Yeah. And speaking about how unusual Heather is, we had this get together with Piers and Brittany, and you hadn't shown up yet because we hadn't invited you. And I just kept talking about you and how unusual you were. And Brittany's like, can you invite her over? And I text her and you came over.
Yes, you can see for yourself this unusual specimen. We're not quite sure what to make of her still.
And it's like, and she kept saying like, how so? And I was like, well, there's the tent and the living outside of inside society, outside society, like just
flexible.
Like,
I'm society flexible.
There you go.
Society agnostic.
There you
go.
go.
Not really.
Yeah.
I prefer not to be in it, but sometimes we got to do what we got to do.
Yeah. Okay. Well, thank you. Thank you.